When your internship finished or your co-op, did you thought about getting a job there?
So they did offer me another position to come back because I still had about 2 years left till I graduated. So I did have that option. But at the same time, I wanted to try out the oil and gas industry, which was my initial motivators of picking chemical engineering. So yeah, at the time, I kept it in my pocket,
Okay,
but I was still looking for the break in the oil and gas industry.
which then comes right now in your fourth co-op in Imperial Oil at the refinery. How
Yes.
did you got that job? So you were like very insistent in getting something on the oil and gas industry.
Yeah, essentially, I had just started my third year at the time. I think one of the things that Imperial Oil really looks for is someone who is academically very sound. So I had that going for me. I had some good experience and the name of Procter and Gamble as well on my resume. So I think all of the things really helped me get that interview. And I think I did well in that interview. So that's how I ended up with the position.
Okay, and what was it about? What was your main role?
So I was working with, so essentially there's a refinery, there's a chemical plant uh, over there. So this is located in Sarnia, Ontario. And my role was that of a junior contact engineer. So a contact engineer is essentially an operations engineer. You have, say, one production unit under you. Day to day, you're monitoring the performance, doing any process optimization, as well as any long term projects that you are trying to move ahead in your particular unit. So yeah, I was working on, since I was only there as an intern, I was working with a few different engineers supporting them in their respective units.
Okay, and then you shifted towards your final co-op, which actually accounted for two, but it was at Husky Energy, and you were working as a reservoir engineer. So that's, I think, one of the most interesting co-ops I've seen, I've heard of. So what was it about?
Yeah, so now that I had some downstream experience under my belt, I wanted to like round it out and get some upstream experience as well. So that's when I got my position with Husky Energy. And as you mentioned, I combined my last two co-op terms. So rather than having two separate 4 month terms, I decided to do one 8 month co-op term. So yeah, my role was that of a reservoir engineer. As you've probably heard, in Canada, we have the oil sands, which is the unconventional technology. So the team that I was working on was using SAGD to access these heavy oil deposits in Western Canada.
It's very, well, not unique to Canada, but I know Canada has a lot of those type of sand deposits, right?
Hmm. They do.
Nice. So now it's time to pass to this little part of transitioning from student to the actual, let's say, chemical engineer graduate. So you got the job at Husky because you were a co-op there, or would you say it was something else?
Yeah, so I got it because I was a co-op there. So specifically with Husky, they have this new graduate program, and at least back when I got in, it was only open to their current co-op students or former co-op students. They would not employ anyone coming from another company. So before I finished my internship, I had interviewed, and yeah, that's how I got the position. So at least I think back in my time, they had about 150 or so applicants, and in their program, they would only accept 15 new grads each year. So yeah, there was about like a 10% acceptance rate, and that's how I got into the program.
So is it 150 co-ops that are already working inside the company?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of competition, man.
Mhm.
So are they mostly chemical engineers, or is it any type of, let's say, related field?
So I would say most of them are chemical and mechanical, but you also have some, say, electrical, environmental, geotechnical, but very few of those. Most of them would be chemical and mechanical.
And why do you think you got the job? Why are you in that 10%, man?
I think because I did pretty well at my last internship, And before I left, I even had a discussion with the vice president of my group, who essentially told me that he's gonna like put in a personal word for me, and if worst comes to worst, he's gonna try to bring me in as like a contractor or something into the department because he wanted me to come back. So I think all of those things helped uh, getting me the role.
Yeah, definitely having an inside recommendation. It's also great. Doing a good job, of course, definitely works as
Right.
well. Check out the full episode at chemicalengineeringguy.com/forward podcast. I'll see you there.